Welcome to these Ellie Talks. My name is Julie Littard, and I'm the founder of Ariadne Innovation. Very happy to be here today again to inspire you, hopefully, on a new topic. Just some practical things. First of all, please turn your camera off. We will record the session. That can be seen afterwards as well on our Ellie.Connect platform. And we will leave some time at the end of the session for Q&A. So if you have an urgent question, you can just type it in the chat and we can launch it then at the end of the session. So today's topic will be about a very important raw material for the future for textiles, which is hemp as a driver of circularity in the textiles and clothing industry. And today I will be interviewing Ms. Alexandra Deraeve, who is actually head of research center FTE lab at HOGENT University of Applied Sciences and Arts. So very happy, Alexandra, that you're here with us today. Before we start with the presentation, I would love to introduce you briefly Ariadne Innovation. Ariadne Innovation is a startup that was launched last year and who brings solutions focusing on sustainability, digitalization and collaboration in the textiles and the fashion industry, which is actually crucial for the future of our beautiful industry. So to do that, to offer the solutions, we have created Ellie, and Ellie is actually the ambassador for sustainable textiles and fashion, who believes in the strength of cooperation to drive sustainable change. And Ellie has various solutions to help the ecosystem driving sustainability. First of all, we have our digital platform, Ellie.Connect, that brings the industry together to share information, insights, knowledge, to inspire and to allow for new connections and collaborations to be made on the topic of sustainability in the broader sense of the word. We then have also Ellie hybrid booth, which displays sustainable textile products and communicates with the visitor in a very interactive way. And of course, with our Ellie Create solution, we also offer you one-on-one solutions to help you on your sustainable projects and challenges. So please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any further challenges you have. Just to briefly show our platform Ellie.Connect. So it's really about building a peer-to-peer ecosystem in the whole value chain and all parties involved around sustainable textiles and fashion. So if we zoom in on the topic of today, on Ellie.Connect, you can find a database of all the players that are active related to the topic of hemp, and of course from producer side create visibility towards the ecosystem for instance hemp and related players. The second part of Ellie.Connect is really about challenges. So you can post a challenge and then we will find a solution, or the ecosystem peer-to-peer will find a solution for your challenge and hopefully drive new collaborations and help other community members. So we already have one challenge related to hemp on the platform as well. So for those interested, please have a look at that as well. And the third piece is actually about market intelligence, where you can automatically save time, follow trends, and of course, hemp today is a trend that we are featuring as well. So of course, we don't always launch a platform, but we also want to inspire with other products, and one of them is our monthly talks about either a textile topic or a technology topic that is relevant for the textile and fashion industry. So here you see already some of the previous talks we had about recycling technologies, fashion on demand, transparency, all topics that are relevant and that might inspire you for new projects in the future. So we hope we will be seeing a lot of you on the future ones as well. But today we will be focusing on hemp, and therefore I would love to give the word to Alexandra Deraeve, who will give you some more insights in this fiber of the future as we see it ourselves. So Alexandra, I give you the floor. Thank you, and let's reconnect afterwards for the Q&A.
Thank you, Julie, for the introduction. I will share my screen with you, well, or my presentation. I hope you can all see it. Good. Well,
yes.
Good afternoon. Sorry. Okay. Well, good afternoon to you all. And first of all, I want to thank Florence and Julie of Ariadne Innovation to give me this opportunity to present our work regarding well, optimization of hemp cultivation, which involves, of course, the fiber quality, and then finally, of course, processing it into high quality textiles. First of all, I would like to introduce to you the FTI Lab Plus, or the Fashion and Textiles Innovation Lab. We officially opened in autumn 2016, but as I think some of you maybe know this, that our history goes way back to 1998, when we started as a research and education center for textiles. So almost 20 years after this debut, the European Commission acknowledged us as a key enabling technology center. And so today we are part of a cross-border network of advanced technology centers for the industry. And last September, after our university went through a transformation program, we became one out of 12 interdisciplinary research centers at the HOGENT University of Applied Sciences and Arts. So hence, in fact, the plus behind our name, as our colleagues have all various backgrounds. So our research aims at developing textile materials and products that address temporary societal challenges, and which we want to strive to have, let's say, a maximum impact on a number of selected sustainable development goals. The FTI Lab is quite unique in its multidisciplinary composition, and so we have a broad range of experience. And our research program is situated in the areas of digitization and flexibility, comfort and protection, and bio-based materials and circular economy, where, of course, the hemp projects are located. So as you can see here on the slide, we have infrastructure for textile production, finishing, and also for the development of products, and yeah, also the, say, confection. So now let me present to you our work in optimizing hemp cultivation, fiber quality, and processing in order to drive, in fact, circularity in the textile and the clothing industry. This work involves, in fact, a series of projects that started some 4 years ago. In 2017, the first project was named Eigen Kweek, which is, of course, well, to some of you that this rings a bell, to as it is the name of a very popular TV series here in Flanders. So we collaborate closely together with our colleagues from the Agro-Food Nature Research Center on the aspects of cultivation and fiber extraction. So when you would have a look at the labels inside the garments that you are wearing today, chances are quite high that you will be wearing a product that is either made out of cotton, polyester, or a blend of both. Synthetics account for about 60% of the raw materials used in the textile sector. These materials are very versatile, but unless, of course, they are bio-based, they are also non-renewable. Another problem with synthetics is that they generate microplastics while being washed, and this is a major problem, as it is really an important source of water pollution. Cotton, on the other hand, accounts for about 24% of the raw materials that are used in textiles. It's a comfortable and a renewable natural fiber, but its cultivation is quite limited to warm areas. And although being, let's say, a natural fiber, cotton is not as sustainable as you would expect it to be. It needs a high input of pesticides and water during cultivation. And also it is, of course, not locally grown. Moreover, we note that today the sector is only recycling 1% of discarded clothes into new textiles. So textiles are recycled, but mainly downcycled into insulation materials and so, but merely 1% is recycled in new textiles for garments. However, the pressure on the textile industry to become more sustainable is growing really fast. There are various European initiatives that really urge the sector to adopt more sustainable raw materials that have a lesser environmental footprint, also have a longer lifespan, and preferably that they can withstand also recycling and several cycles without loss of quality. Well, of course, we all know flax as being such a fiber, but unfortunately the availability is not so high. It's a lot lower than the demand now. And as you can see, the region where, let's say, the high quality flax is cultivated is rather limited. It's like here in Belgium, Flanders, up north in Holland, and then south of us in just the north of France. Another such a fiber is hemp. So after having disappeared for many years, we noticed that it is back as a low impact crop now today. Well, hemp, it's not a new fiber, and it has been used for centuries for garments and technical textiles such as rope and sails. So its first traces go way back to the Egyptians, and even in the Golden Age, Queen Elizabeth I, she even forced farmers to grow hemp to be certain to have enough sailcloth for her fleet. However, in 1937, in fact, the Marijuana Tax Act was passed in the United States, and this tax act it levied taxes on anyone who dealt commercially in cannabis, hemp, or marijuana. The passing of this act, it really destroyed the hemp industry, and hemp even became prohibited to be cultivated for some time. And we had to wait until the 1990s before cultivation of hemp cultivars with a THC or a cannabinoid content below 0.3% was allowed again in Europe. Unfortunately, this situation had really hard consequences because this long-term prohibition, investments in the development of new technologies for cultivating and processing hemp for quality textiles applications, they've stopped. So nevertheless, although this happened, due to its environmentally friendly cultivation and really sustainable processing, the interest in hemp cultivation is becoming more and more prevalent lately, and especially in many industrialized countries. However, let's say in the EU and the European Union, hemp fibres today are mainly used for pulp and paper industry, building applications, animal bedding. So it's more low-end applications where the fibers are used for, and in fact the lack, or maybe I should better call it the loss or the standstill of knowledge in cultivation, pre-processing and spinning of hemp fibers is to blame for this. So today we are facing, in fact, the challenge of increasing again the European hemp cultivation and improving its processing into quality textile materials. And this is exactly what we as a research center are aiming for. We really want to tackle these challenges by offering solutions to improve the fiber yield, the fiber quality, and then the processing into yarns, woven, knitted fabrics, and so on. So, in fact, at different levels of the value chain of hemp, several factors can influence both the yield and the quality of hemp. On the field, there is the choice of the hemp variety, and then the sowing and harvesting conditions. And in our study, we selected several fiber-rich varieties of European origin, which we compared one against the other. Also, the sowing and the harvesting conditions proved to be very decisive during the hemp cultivation on, in fact, the final fiber quality. The retting process also impacts greatly fiber yield and quality. In general, hemp is retted on the field, as you can see here in this picture. After cutting the stems, they are spread out horizontally and parallel on the ground. So it's retted on the field, and therefore it's also very sensitive, this process, to climatic conditions. So we are looking into the possibilities to make this retting process less dependent of the weather conditions. When we assessed the quality of the obtained fibers, we noticed quite a significant difference in yellowness index between the different types of cultivars, and this regardless of the retting methods. The retting method itself not only slightly affected the color, but also the fineness and the strength of the hemp fibers. In the end, enzymatic field retting seemed to be a better alternative to just the ordinary field retting in terms of fiber tenacity. But still, we decided that the retting process still needs some adjusting. So the project Hemp for Textiles, which will now soon start its second year, it's a 4-year project, really aims at improving this retting process. Well, in the end, anyway, the tenacity of hemp fibers is quite high. It's between the highest of the natural fibers. So this suggests that hemp for sure has a potential long lifetime and could be very successful for recycling the textile products at the end of life. And thus making it an ideal fiber to, let's say, replace cotton, and it's even a local grown fiber in, for example, workwear and jeans. So at the level of fiber extraction, we noticed that, well, the specialized processes had disappeared or no longer have the appropriate equipment to treat hemp. However, methods and machines for flax offer quite some possibilities. So in the project, after mechanized stem harvesting and then the several weeks of field retting, we managed to successfully extract hemp fibers by means of existing modern industrial flax cutting lines with just some minor process adjustments. The resulting long fibers then, of course, underwent a hackling process, and the hackled long fiber tow was obtained. This hackled fiber tow is, in fact, it's ultimately destined to high quality hemp yarns, and you have long fibers, and these long hemp fibers, they, just like flax fibers, they can be wet spun. Unfortunately, today in Europe, we have only 5 remaining spinning mills that have this technology, but the situation is improving, and even it will be improving quite soon, as in the north of France, there are some ongoing investments to install new factories that offer this technology. There's just some short film showing the spinning of the long hemp fibers. So after scotching, we end up not only with these long fibers, but also with an equal amount of short hemp fibers, and this regardless of the hemp variety which was cultivated. We are convinced that this side stream short fibers are a valuable raw material, and that can potentially be transformed into, yes, fine yarns. The process of transforming these short fibers will consist, in fact, of 4 steps, including fiber preparation. And this fiber preparation can be considered as the most important step because here we want to obtain the nice quality, the individual fibers, and then of course followed by carding, drawing, and spinning. For the spinning, we will use lab scale non-traditional hemp equipment and adapt it to the specificity of hemp fibers. Why? Well, because hemp fibers, they are longer, coarser, stiffer, they have poorer elasticity, and they are organized in bundles that need to be gradually individualized. So the fiber preparation will be very important. But after this, they will be processable on, let's say, cotton spinning equipment, which is, of course, extremely well, interesting because yeah, cotton spinning is still done quite a lot in Europe. And then, of course, the next steps will include then the transformation into fabrics, either by weaving or knitting, and then dyeing and finishing using low environmental impact technologies and chemistry to add, of course, the necessary functionalities. So finally, the aim is to present you with a collection of garments and other textile products that are designed for circularity. So to end, I would like to thank the Flanders Innovation and Entrepreneurship and the HOGENT Research Fund, and of course, well, you all as an audience for listening to this talk. Thank you for your attention.